This is Perfect Harvest MLP Studios.
Hello every pony and welcome to the show! Perfect Harvest here, hope you're well. So I'm not really sure what category this video would come under, to be honest. I guess you might call it Perfect Harvest story time, although there's not really much of a story, to be honest. It's more of a discussion. Over the years on my channel I've mentioned what I'm going to be talking about time and time again, and I just kind of felt that I had to dive a little bit deeper into the story behind these comments and that. And so yeah, so to premise this, there's lots of standout characters throughout the generations in MLP. Say for example, if you're thinking of G1, you might think Twilight. In G3 you might think Rainbow Dash. In G4 you might think Pinkie Pie, or in G5 you might think Misty. I'm excluding G2 here because obviously there wasn't a G2 show. But out of all the generations, there's one character, whether in toy form or in actually appearing in the show, who has been a fan favourite and almost sort of like a sub mascot for MLP over the years. Minty. Minty, Minty, Minty. Boom. Here we have everything from my Minty shrine that's usually on top of the end of my card cabinets at the end of my MLP collection. Well, there's not much here really, but I just wanted to talk to you today about why I love Minty so much. I guess if we want to go right back to the very beginning, it all started not long after I first became Brony, and one of the channels that I discovered early on was the same channel that, I can't remember, I think it's TF2 Analysis. It involves people like MLP Silverquill, Lightning Bliss, Dr. Wolf, Josh Scorcher, people like that. And every year they used to do an analysis. They had to watch through some sort of terrible show. A couple of Christmases prior to this, they'd done a reaction to the MLP G3 Christmas special, A Very Minty Christmas, and they really ripped it to shreds and said how awful it was. And at the time, because I was still naive to the MLP fandom, I watched it and I thought, oh god, look at that, it's terrible, I hate it, G3 is the worst. Over time, as I've gone back to it, and even as I've just watched snippets of other MLP G3 episodes, I've changed my tune. And as I went back to watch that original video and I saw how Minty interacted with the other characters and that, and her own personality, I fell in love with her. And you know, yes, G3 isn't the best thing in the world, but Minty definitely is. G3 Minty is one of my absolute favourites, and that's why I guess I started this little Minty shrine. You only have to look at clips like this.
Perfecto! I mean, no, don't move. Well, of course you can move. No, move a muscle, just don't move it from here. Unity often makes tasks easier to conquer. Who understands that? We're here!
That's what made me fall in love with Minty. It's interesting because, like I said earlier, she seems to have been a constant all throughout MLP. Not G2, because strangely enough she didn't appear in the G2 toys, but she's been in G1, G3, G4 and G5. And I've only just discovered this evening she did actually appear in Make Your Mark as a character. She was one of the singers in the band The Dreamlands in the Bridal Woodstock episode. I also just find her colours very, very pleasing. I guess I'll just take you through what I've got in my Minty collection. Over here we've got the oldest Minty out of all of them. She's about 40 years old. This is an Italian exclusive Minty from Generation 1. I bought her from the Pony business at UK PonyCon 2023 last year. Really, really nice colours. I guess this one, because I have seen some G1 Minties that are more of a bright and vibrant green. whereas this is sort of more mellow pastel proper mint colours. And I actually prefer this, and this is, I suppose, her more traditional colour throughout the generations really. This is the colour that I was thinking of. This is that more, it's almost avocado green to be honest, but this is the Dolly Mixtures Minty that I also bought from PonyCon last year, and she would have been given out with Dolly Mixtures. Just a really nice little thing. Looks more like G3. Speaking of G3, next to her we have my very first G3 pony, G3 Minty. I bought her off eBay about 4 years ago. Hair's not in the best condition, but yeah, I'm not bothered about that. And she's got her original necklace, which I think it is some sort of pony on there, but I'm not sure what or who it's supposed to be. I like the colour of her eyes as well. I originally thought that she was a McDonald's pony, but I saw a similar one at UK PonyCon this year in 2024 of one of the other G3 characters, and apparently that version would have come with a storybook. So I'm not sure if she's actually a McDonald's pony or if she is a storybook pony. Hang on, there's some writing on her belly. Can't read the writing. But anyway, it's, yeah, really nice, chunky, very solid. She was given to me in a trade by my old friend Blossomforth, who I used to chat with on Snups and Instagram. Next to her, we've got two Ponyville Minties. This is just a regular Ponyville Minty, who I think actually came as part of like a very minty Christmas gift set. And then we've got a McDonald's Ponyville Minty, who is sat on a little cushion, and she comes with this, I guess it's like a little pram that she sits in. And then we get on to the G4 Minties. Here we've got just a standard G4 Minty. Really nice. Bought her from PonyCon 2022, I think. One of the other ponies that made me fall in love with her, really. The one that I've just knocked over is your typical standard blind bag Minty. I believe this one is from Wave 1. Next to her, we have a little play school Minty. I mean, just look how adorable she is. Her hairstyle in this mould is probably a little bit more show accurate to the G3 Minty, because whenever G4 Minty is depicted in sort of marketing and promos and that, she usually has the old Applejack hairstyle, and that's how she actually appeared in the background of one of the episodes of Friendship is Magic, I think. We have the brushable version of the G4.5 reboot Minty. I'm not sure, I can't remember which set this came from. Her hair seems to be a little bit darker on this figure. I'm not sure I like that as much. And then next to her, we have one of my more recent purchases from UK PonyCon 2024. A little custom made by Totally Sparkler. And I can't say no to Minty, can I? It's just quite interesting, I think, that we've got the original and the custom version side by side, and yet again it always amazes me how third party manufacturers and custom makers do a much better job than Hasbro. Another one of my more recent purchases down here is Cutie Mark Crew Minty from the Sugar Sweet Rainbow collection, which I unboxed in my last video, and actually I was waiting for her and that set to arrive so that I could make this video. I know it's just a Pinkie Pie mould, but yeah, it's Minty. I don't care. Another one of my more recent purchases, which I actually bought off eBay just before I went to PonyCon. This is, to my knowledge, the only Equestria Girl figure of Minty that was ever made. This is from the Fashion Squad series, and I believe the only way that you could get her was in a 2-pack, which came with, I think was it either Twilight or Pinkie? I've also just noticed, I thought she was a recoloured Fluttershy mould, but no, she's got clearly Rarity's curls. Another interesting Minty. Technically, it's a Pony Life figure, but it was packaged in the G5 Snow Party Advent Calendar from 2021. Here we've got a little crystal Minty, arguably the best out of all those figures in there, because she's probably the most show accurate out of all of them. Little side note here, the day that I opened her on the advent calendars, I just popped her in my pocket and when I went into town, and I went into the local train station to get my tickets to go to work the next week, and I came out of the train station and I thought, where's she gone? And she'd fallen out of my pocket in the train station. Luckily, some people had found them, and I daredn't tell them that she was mine. Some people actually, thank God, thought she was a little octopus toy. But yeah, I told a lie that said that it was my niece's. Spoiler alert: I don't have nieces. I don't have brothers or sisters. And then the final Minty that I've got in toy form is the G5 Minty from. Yeah, that's the problem with her hair. It is so poofy that it takes up about the room of 3 or 4 ponies. I cannot remember the name of the collection that she was from, but it will be in the credits at the end, so if you want to find out. Very squeaky neck there, love. You want to get that sorted out. No offence, but probably my least favourite out of all my Minties. I guess just because of that big poofy hair. It just gets in the way. And yeah, still, it's Minty and she's in my collection. And yeah, they've even kept her typical eye colour as well, and her old cutie mark, which is nice to see. And of course, I almost forgot, another one of my more recent purchases was this G3 Minty keyring that I bought from Ibble Dribble at UK PonyCon 2024. Yeah, so she's on my keys, on my lanyard at work, and yeah, it's just such a happy little Minty. That picture there with Minty throwing her arms up in the air and a lovely big smile on her face, that just typifies for me why I love Minty so much. So thank you very much for watching this very strange but hopefully enjoyable for you discussion and explanation on why I love Minty so much. And if you did like it and you like what else you see on my channel, don't forget to like, comment if you fancy, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in one of my other guises in the next video, whenever that is. Cheers for watching, guys. Take care.
And if you cannot obey, then you will wither away, and your feet will become very sore. And you'll open up your window and you'll suddenly find that a peanut has knocked on your door. It doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, but if you understand this, then you're mad. It doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense, and the singing is also quite bad.